Hey, fight fans, James Smith from In This Corner for Fight Now TV outside the official training headquarters for Floyd Money Mayweather as he readies for the one, Marcos Maidana, May the 3rd at the MGM Grand on Showtime pay-per-view. It's always customary for Floyd to have an open workout for the media, so we figured we'd take you inside and let you be part of the money team. Here we go. One of my favorite guys to watch fight, former featherweight champion of the world, Cornelius Boza Edwards. First off, man, congratulations on being inducted into the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame. You deserve it.
Wonderful. Isn't that great? I mean, I'm so happy that all this work I have put into it, into the fight game, ever since I was an African little kid who became something of something, and now I run Floyd Mayweather's boxing gym, supply sparring partners for him. Isn't this wonderful?
And you look, Cornelius, I mean, you took on the guys like Chacon and Lamone and Navarrete and Arguello, and you still look great. So I know what my secret is. I'm not going to tell you. I got great hair, but what is your secret?
Well, you know, to be honest with you, I found a passion, long distance running. I run marathons, so far I've run 6. I have run 6 marathons. Not very good with the time. I'm trying to chase those Kenyans. If I can get closer to them, I'll be very satisfied.
Talk about, though, your day-to-day role here at Camp Mayweather.
Oh, wonderful. I run the gym from morning to close. Of course, we've got other helpers, guys like Gerard Sinclair, John Sinclair. These 2 individuals are very great help that help me. Bob Ware, who helps me. Now, Garrett Sinclair and John Sinclair, the Floyd's uncles from the mother's side. Running the gym is, you know, if you've lived in gyms all your life, from guys like Johnny Tacos, Hal Miller.
5th Street Gym where I train.
Well, that too. There was a gym in England where I grew up in London with George Francis. So you get ideas what it's like to run a gymnasium with all these old-timers, and thank goodness I still got a little bit of a brain left. And I take from what they were using to run their gymnasium, their fighters, control, and that's what I'm running here.
We're bringing the fans inside Camp Mayweather. Talk about a typical day. Not today, this is for the press. What's a typical day like here?
A typical day at this camp is like a family outing, because everybody in this training facility considers each other family. So we have a great time. Everybody helps each other. Nobody thinks they're better than each other. And we just have a great time.
You know what I think is cool, though? You have that mixture of trainers. A guy, you know, like Floyd Sr., you, Boza Edwards, you all had your own different styles, and that, I think, helps these young kids to have different styles.
That's without a doubt, Smitty. And it helps them a great deal because, you know, Boza being a former world champion, myself being the former world champion, Roger being a former world champion, we have nothing but great individual talent down here.
Talk about some of the guys you're working with here at Camp Mayweather.
Okay, I'm working with Jalen Love, who's fighting on the 3rd of next month against Paribon. I have Ishe Smith, the former champion, who's fighting on the 2nd. And I have a host of other Mayweather fighters that I'm working with. Ronald Gurville. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. I got so many guys that sometimes I can't even keep concentrating on it, but I'm having a ball.
And if I make a comeback, are you in my corner?
Only if you make a comeback to the refrigerator, I'll come and help you out.
My name is Andrew Tabiti. I'm from Chicago, 5-0, 5 knockouts. You know, fight May 3rd, ready to knock out someone else, 6-0.
What's it like for a young guy like you to work out in this type of environment, and of course with this type of fight coming up?
It's a blessing. You know, it's like hard work. That's all I do is hard work over here, and you know, it's a blessing. I'm glad I got the opportunity to you know, to make things happen, to be in this type of environment, to have media come see me, and you know, so it's a blessing.
What have you learned most to improve your game as a fighter here?
it's not okay to take punishment, and that's what the champ speaks. Don't take punishment. You last longer in the sport. So that's the big key.
Coming from Chi-Town, these streets of Chi-Town, I would assume you're a pretty damn tough guy.
Oh yeah, I'm tough. Just being in the sport this long, I become tough too. So.
Now, what do you know about your next fight?
I just know the guy tall. I just, only thing I do know, I'm gonna get the victory because I work too hard. That's something I really want. Like, I really want to win so bad. That's all I think about.
When a guy becomes a champion, he automatically becomes a better fighter. I think when a guy walks into Camp Mayweather, you would think he would automatically become a better fighter because of the environment.
It just some people have to adapt to things. Some people become better. Some people just stay where they at because they think it's just the limelight. But it's more to it being a champion. You got to prove yourself and have hard work.
We all know this world champion, Mikey Garcia. Now, what the heck are you doing here?
I'm here to take notes. Nah, we're here to just enjoy as a fan. I'm here to just watch. Like I said, I've always said, my favorite fighter, Floyd Mayweather, and I'm here to watch him train. He may not fight that long anymore, maybe 2-3 more fights, and he may retire. So I got invited. They asked me if I would like to come. I said, of course I would like to go check it out, see him train. I've never been here, never seen him train before. So this time that I actually got invited, I'm going to come over and check it out.
Where's your damn notepad? I know you're taking notes somewhere.
I got
Talk about, what is it you like most about Floyd?
It's just his ability, his skills, his defense, the way he can manage his distance and his speed, his footwork, everything. He's the total package. To me, he's the best fighter in the world.
Do you think for Marcos, like I do, that the fact that he got to take on Broner, it's a nice dress rehearsal, although I call Broner a decaffeinated version, a puppy version of Floyd, but it still had to be good to fight that kind of style right before Mayweather.
That definitely helps Maidana bring his confidence up. He's training already, maybe you can consider this a second training camp for the same kind of fighter, similar. So he's already in a way kind of broken into that. And we're just refining some things with them, my brother and his team. But it definitely does help. It helps him, build that momentum, and that's why he's so motivated right now.
When a fighter at your level watches a guy like Floyd, are there still things that you can pick up?
Of course, there's always room for improvement. There's always room to learn and ways to pick up on things. I don't know if I'll be picking up too much today because I'm just here as a fan, and when you're just watching as a fan, you can't really take notes that much, But I'm gonna just, take anything I can and try to use it.
Talk about promoting a Floyd Mayweather fight and the differences from all the other Golden Boy fights.
Well, it's like an NFL game compared to the Super Bowl. It's just everything is times 10, times 20, times 30, times 100. It's just a totally different magnitude. From the sponsors on how they activate, on how they embrace the events, on how they market the events in the supermarkets and all these other assets they put in play, the movie theaters on how they promote the pay-per-view events, then the casino, of course, the way they promote the pay-per-view events, the Mayweather events. It really is just everything is multiplied by many times over compared to any other fight or frankly any other pay-per-view. What Floyd Mayweather has done, he really has become the pay-per-view king.
And I think people would be amazed. You're there, and I've been with him behind the scenes to see how hands-on and how he really takes the business side really personal.
Oh, absolutely. Like when we start talking about concepts, he's very much involved. For example, the artwork of the poster was done by him. So there was no involvement from our side, Golden Boy side, or from Showtime side. So he's very, very much involved. And he is a marketing genius. I mean, you see that you don't just become the highest paid athlete but you do become because you know what you're doing inside of the ring and outside of the ring. And he loves marketing. He loves self-promotion. He still evokes these feelings in people looking up to him, admiring him, respecting him. And then maybe a bit the younger crowd, which has really embraced him and which is, I think, is a reason why his pay-per-view events are doing so well. But then you have a bit the older crowd who maybe resent him because of exactly the same reasons of his flash and so on. But the fact is, when Mayweather fights, people watch and people buy the pay-per-views.
Floyd Mayweather fights, different from any other animal out there. Talk about your role in a Floyd Mayweather fight, especially at this stage of the game.
Well, I try to do the best job I can for Floyd, and it's really being able to manage his media requests, which are in the hundreds. And, you know, I've worked with Floyd since 1995. We were together for the Turo Gotti fight, was my first fight with him. So we kind of have a nice relationship going where I understand what he likes to do, how he likes to do it. I listen to what he has to tell me how he wants to do it. And so it works out really well, and I try to make it as comfortable as possible for him. Today's a media day, so just being able to manage everybody that's here and make sure they get what they want. Floyd's a professional, so he knows what he has to do when he gets here. And it's a lot of responsibility for the fighter to be able to execute all of the requests that come in on top of training for the fight and then actually fighting. But at this level, it's very exciting, and I think we're all professionals and we've been around a long time, so we know how to do it and we know how to do it right.
What are the one ingredient, maybe the one ingredient, you've worked with so many guys, back to Riddick Bowe even, and you've been around with a lot of greats. What's the one ingredient that, even though they're different guys, different styles, different fighters, what's the one ingredient they all seem to possess?
I think it's the ability or the want to be great. I just know that guys that are, particularly Floyd and Bernard, that there's no compromise in achieving their goals. So they handle it differently. Yeah, focus, but also just think this amazing will and determination and commitment. They're so committed to boxing. And I think that's what you need. You know, they've sacrificed their lives for the sport. Floyd will say that himself. Like, he didn't really even have a childhood. And still today, he misses, fortunately for him, he's in a financial situation where once he's done fighting, fight by fight, he can go out and enjoy himself with his friends. But even then, he knows that at a certain point it's going to come to an end. And then he gets back into fight mode. And what can he do? He comes, he trains, he goes home, he eats, he rests, and he gets up for another day, and it's a big compromise. So when you are willing to make those sacrifices in your own life to achieve the level of success that he's achieved, I think that's the ingredient that it takes.
Chris, talk about the promotion that goes into a Mayweather fight and how it differs from other fights on Showtime and Showtime pay-per-view.
Oh, it's a totally different animal. I mean, you start weeks and weeks before you'd start any other promotion. And really, you know, some of our focus is on the opponent because so many people know Floyd. We've seen Floyd for many, many years. He's been on top of the sport for, you could argue, 15, 16 years. He's been at the top of the sport. So really, we try to focus also on the opponent. I mean, what does this guy bring to the table? How is this going to be a challenging fight?
All access, a big part of that.
Absolutely. So our all access cameras are rolling. There's a lot of time and a lot of money spent on the production of that, just with the camera crews staying embedded with the camps. And, you know, there's really the energy of it. It starts from whenever we're able to get in there with cameras like you and the press from around the world, really, that come and cover a Mayweather event. I think the energy is a different level than it is for a traditional, even an A-level championship boxing show, if you will.
You know, we know what he's like as a fighter, the pound-for-pound best fighter. As a guy to work with at your level and at the level that Showtime does and all access and everything else, is he as disciplined and a perfectionist in that aspect as he is as a fighter?
He absolutely is. I mean, we've been working with him for almost 2 years now, and, you know, he goes above and beyond to get everything right. A lot of times we'll do a shoot, say our marketing shoot for a commercial, or our distributors ask for him to read marketing lines. Hey, I'm Floyd Mayweather, buy the pay-per-view, whatever. And he'll read the script, and then he'll stop, and he'll say, we need to do it over. Can I freestyle? Can I do it in my own words? And you very rarely get that, an extra take, as dictated by the athlete in, I think, any sport. So Floyd is he's a different animal as well.
How you doing? This is Floyd Money Mayweather, and you're watching Fight Now TV. I'll give you two. Okay. This is Floyd Money Mayweather, and you're watching Fight Now TV.
Leonard, you've been here from the embryonic stages of Floyd. We all know how he's developed as a prize fighter. Talk about how he's developed as a man.
He's a great individual. Floyd has the biggest heart of anybody I've ever seen. You know, he'll give you the shirt off his back. He's just a great guy, and I'm not just saying that. I mean, you know, I've been working with him for 17, 18 years. He doesn't get the credit for his philanthropy, you know, all over the world. You know, he's a giver, you know, and that's one of the things that I truly do admire about him.
You know, this is an individual sport, boxing, but you guys are a great example of how boxing can also be a team. Camp Mayweather, the fact you're still here, and Raphael and his dad and Roger. Talk about the importance, that camaraderie that makes up Team Mayweather, the money team.
We have a great team, you know, and I think the key to it is that everyone understanding what their roles are and staying in their lane, and no one, you know, everyone focuses on what their responsibility is, and that what makes for a great team.
Tell us where Floyd's hands are at now. We know he's had problems in the past. I know you've done a great job. Where would you rate his hands now? You know, 1 being weak, 10 being perfect.
Well, actually, I put something before in the hands, like what is it called? Nervous. I fix it up. A lot of things they really happened to him, and the way I go to LA with him and with the doctor, and he showed me how I rub the hands, and probably the doctor, a special doctor for the hands, and he said, I never see anybody rub their hands like you, Raphael. I said, well, thank you, doc. And then from there, I rubbed the hands to Floyd. That's why probably Floyd, they never let anybody touch his hands now. Because before, yeah, like you say before, he's got a lot of troubles with the hands. Any fight, he's hurt. He hurt his hands, but no now.
Marcos Maidana, May the 3rd. What do you think of him as a fighter?
I think he's a fighter. I think he's a punching bag. That's what I think. I think all you need to do is put a swivel in the top of his head and hang him up. He's ready to go.
So target practice, you think?
Thank you. Pretty much.
You and I talk, though, you've been around the game a long time, so have I. What are the things that your son can still improve upon as a fighter, or are there any things?
You get this late in the game, it ain't many more things that you can do anyway. But there's always a little something there somebody can give you. And sometimes it ain't about so much about what you're doing. Sometimes you just need to go back to some of the things that you used before. See, there's only so many things you can do in any sport.
How much longer would you like to see Floyd fight?
Well, to be honest, man, I think even at his age right now, I think after he threw with all the fights that he's supposed to fight, I would probably call it then. He might try to do it till he's 38, and he might do it, but you know, sometimes things get tight when you I don't care who you is, man. When you get a certain age, man, you know, you get up there, man. Things get a little slower. You don't see it, but it's there.
Let's talk about All Access. Your fans on All Access. What is All Access Mayweather all about?
All Access, you know, on this go-around, you come into the life of both fighters. Maidana is training hard. He just had a beautiful daughter that was born. Me, myself, everybody's seen my training camp, but I just want to bring them in my life, kind of introduce the money team to everybody, introduce some of the people that's under the Mayweather promotion banner to everybody, and that's what it's about.
I'm predicting Mayweather gets a stoppage on May the 3rd. So that's a little change in my last prediction. You look into that camera there and tell the folks why they should pay-per-view and tune in to Mayweather versus Maidana.
18 years in the sport. You know, I've been in the sport 18 years. World champion 17 years. Maidana, lately, is one of the best guys out there. He has an 80% knockout ratio. He's champion. I'm champion. It's the moment we all been waiting for. and we got 3 fights that's on the undercard. That's remarkable.
Well, we look forward to it. Best of luck.
Thank you.